Welcome into episode 16 of Breaker Banter. My name's Devin Dobek along with you. Today on the show, we'll have the game-winning goal scorer from Saturday night's game. Lucas Piekarczyk joins me here on the panel. But for now, as always, we'll go through our housekeeping. So this weekend, the first of two opponents will be on Friday, the Monroe Moccasins, 7 o'clock puck drop at the Coliseum. We'll be having a giveaway. The first 2,000 fans that enter at the south entrance will get a 3-day pass to Club 4 Fitness. So try it out. They've got some cool amenities there. It's really awesome. So first 2,000 fans, south entrance, get there in time so you can get yours. And then on Saturday, the Breakers will travel out to Columbus, Georgia to take on the River Dragons. That one's scheduled for 7:05. So this will be two opponents in one weekend. First time that's happened. Matchup 4 out of 12 with the Monroe Moccasins. They've already played 3 times. Monroe has taken all 3 of them. So trying to get some vengeance here on home ice. Breakers do come off a weekend sweep last weekend, a 5-0 shutout win on Friday. Josh Rosenzweig, 45 saves in the shutout. And then on Saturday, we know what happened. Overtime winner Lucas Piekarczyk, Caden Henry, league leader in points, had 3 goals and 3 assists. So everything's coming up good for the exception line as they continue for success this weekend. But that just about wraps up our intro. We're going to bring Lucas on and get things going here on episode 16 of Breaker Banter.
Coastal Prints is a brand new business on the coast specializing in screen printing, embroidery, and promotional items. Being local and with 30 plus years of experience, Coastal Prints carries all the hottest clothing brands and thousands of promotional items. Uniforms, workwear, hats, drinkware, coolers, tchotchkes, and much more. Coastal Prints will make your brand and logo stand out. Come see the new showroom on Seaway Road in Gulfport or visit coastalprints.com or call 228-COASTAL.
Devin Dobek joined by Lucas Piekarczyk on the panel here. Lucas, first and foremost, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So, Lucas, it's been a fun start to the season for you. Let's take a look at last year, your first season with the Seawolves. You had just 5 goals, 19 assists. You've already hit your goal total with 5 through just 7 games this season, 8 assists to add to it. Top of the team in points, behind, of course, Cade and tied with Yarrow. But what's been working so well for you this season as you take a look at last year rolling into this year?
Yeah, I mean, thank you, first of all. But I think just a really good summer of training. But credit to my 2 line mates, Yarrow and Henry. They've been really good to me, supportive, playing good together. So hopefully we can keep that going. So,
as I like to do with every guy, we like to kind of dive back, go through the layers, and see just exactly what brought you here today. So taking a look back, growing up in Canada, at your early hockey journey, who did you look up to, and were there any good mentors that you had along the way growing up?
for sure, a lot of good mentors. I grew up in a little small town called Sicamous, British Columbia. It's the home of 2 pretty well-known hockey players like Shea Weber, Cody Franson. So those 2 were instrumental for me, looking up to them. But as coaches, I think my spring hockey coach Sandy Moger was pretty instrumental on like doing some skills, some skating. Another coach, Derek Strukoff, was my private skating coach. So did a lot of skating with him. Wasn't easy, but I'm glad I did it, and hopefully it's translated to my game today.
So a lot of hockey year-round, it sounds like. But when you weren't
yeah.
playing hockey, what were you doing growing up? Any hobbies or other sports that you were interested in?
Probably hang with buddies, hang with friends. Again, small town, so you're always hanging out. I like to be active, whether it's playing street hockey, mini sticks, riding your bike, taking hikes, all those kind of outdoor stuff.
Yeah, growing up, you just have so many opportunities to get into so many things, but you were always drawn to hockey. And so now we flash forward to 21-22. You played for the Red Lake Miners of the SIJHL, 30 games played there, 26 points. Mm-hmm. What was it like having your development at that level of hockey?
It was fun. It was my first time being pretty far away from home, almost halfway across Canada to the east side. So I think it was just growing up, trying to become a nice young man, experiencing being away from home, like the ups and downs you get during that. So, but Red Lake was really good. Again, really small town, 3,000 people, but it was only like the boys, hockey, the gym, and like movie nights with the fellas. So we were a very tight knit group and had a very good year. And yeah, memories for life. For
Sounds a little similar to what goes on around here in Biloxi, pretty
Yeah.
much. You know,
Yeah,
you got
pretty
your
much.
practice, then you got your workout with Brett, and then everybody comes home and there's movies, there's cards, there's whatever you can get into. Pickleball.
Exactly, yeah.
Have you been on the pickleball courts?
I have.
How's it been going?
Me and Xavier and Kels have been teammates for pickleball, my roommates. But we've had our ups and downs. But it's fun. It's nice to get on outside during the hot weather. Probably not now with the weather now, but it's been it's a good spot to play some pickleball.
Back to your career, though. The next season, you're with Timmins Rock of the NOJHL. 49 games played there. You had 47 points, 21 goals as well in that season. Did you feel that playing a lengthier season, I mentioned the 49 games, and being successful gave you the confidence to want to go pro?
For sure, yeah. Timmins was, again, I mean, I could speak a long time about Timmins. It was probably my favorite year of hockey. Great group of guys. We gelled really good. Great coach. Those various systems in Brandon Perry. But yeah, as far as that, we had a very good program. As 6 o'clock spin classes twice a week, some workouts, practice every day, and yeah, I could talk about it for a lot, but it was surreal to be a part of the Timmins Rock organization, and I miss every guy there, and I think we're getting brothers for life.
So you have those 2 seasons where you're playing juniors, 2 different experiences, and then after that, in 23-24, you decide to go to Sweden and play Division III there. What was your experience like going overseas? We talked about how you didn't want to be too far away from home at first, and then all of a sudden you're headed to Sweden. So something
Yeah.
must have clicked.
Yeah, I mean, I had some options to go to school in the States, but there was also an opportunity to go to Sweden. And when I first started playing hockey, I really wanted to play in Europe. So I just pulled the plug and said, I'm just gonna go overseas, see what it's like, and I loved it. I loved the culture over there, the people. I got to experience Christmas over there with a family, a Swedish family. But hockey-wise, it was really fun. The team I was on, organization, was really good to me, and again, everything's in hockey. It's memories for life, and I was actually watching the Hockey Hall of Fame speeches last night. So I think Duncan Keys said it's not like the winning and the games are all one thing, but it's the people that you remember the most. So that's one thing I kind of took away from Sweden.
Yeah, you've mentioned that at every level that you've played, that the team has really been the rock for you, and another good group here. But sticking with Sweden for a moment, what was the biggest difference playing out in Sweden versus your junior career in Canada?
Well, the guys were a lot older, not from 16 to 20-year-old anymore. So you're playing against 30-year-olds. The bigger ice is obviously a big factor. But yeah, maybe different language, low language barrier didn't help me that well, but had to get used to that. But yeah, I think just how big and strong the guys are, just like in this league, it's a pretty big step from junior to pro, but you just got to learn and play to your strengths.
So you play a full season in Sweden, and then your next season, it looks like you played a handful of games and then decided that you wanted to come join the FPHL and be a part of the Mississippi Seawolves. What led into that decision to now come to the States and leave Sweden?
Yeah, for sure. Had some visa issues last year in Sweden, so I only played 3 games. It was difficult, but I mean, that's the way, I guess. It happens, so you got to battle through it. And then on New Year's, I got the call that Mississippi wanted to give me a PTO tryout, so flew out literally on New Year's. I had New Year's on the plane. It was pretty funny, but yeah, I just came here trying to make a team. Rich Pront, the coach last year, he gave me a fair chance, and I think I did all right, and yeah, it was good.
And it's rolled right into this year. One of 4 guys who made the transition from Mississippi to now Biloxi. Of course, Blake Keller, who you mentioned earlier, Curtis Hansen, and Dalton Anderson. But what was enticing about the opportunity to come to the FPHL? Obviously, your hand was forced. You had to leave Sweden. Yeah. But what made you decide, okay, I want to go play in the FPHL now in the States?
I think it was just getting back to the North America style hockey. In Sweden, it's a different style. It's not as run and gun. But in North America, it's smaller ice, what I'm used to. But for me, I think just come back to North America, see if I can work my way up through the leagues, and then I'd like to get back to Europe at some point, wherever it is. But don't look that far ahead. So one step at a time, and just focus on where I'm at right now, and yeah, very excited for this
Now,
year.
as someone who has played for both renditions of the Seawolves and now the Breakers, what has changed for the better in your experience, through your lens?
For my lens, I mean, last year was a little tough. I mean, for everybody, not just me. I came in late, so I think majority of the guys last year battled through it the whole year. But I think this year, just the living accommodations have been really nice. The boys have been nice. My roommates have been good. Just I think people are very supportive for this team to stay in Biloxi, and I like that, and it was a big reason for me coming back. That people want hockey here, and it's a great place to play, and I'm excited to try and keep hockey here, and hopefully have a good season.
So, what do you make of the team itself now? How is the culture? How is it built? What's it like to play for Coach Pens? And what's it going to take to put together a successful season long term?
A successful season, it's going to take everybody to buy in, all our teammates, coaches, everybody's got to buy in. I think we're on the right path right now. It was a big 2 games that we had, but it's a long season, so again, we can't look that far ahead. It's day by day, practice by practice, game by game. But again, very excited. I think we do have the pieces to put together a good season. But it's just a matter of us, dialing it in and putting a good show for the fans, and that's it. Well,
You mentioned it earlier, but what's it like to play with Yarrow and Henry? Is it the best line that you've ever played on, or your favorite line that you've ever played on? The proof's in the pudding. You're averaging almost 2 points a game playing with those 2 guys. So where do they rank among line mates you've had? Obviously, it's still early, but the success has been incredible.
Yeah, no, they're 2 tremendous players. As far as best line, again, like you said, it's early, so I think as the year goes on, it could be, but I'll put a little sneak peek for my Timmins teammates, Brady Haroon, Nicholas Pigeon, those guys, very good players, had a great year, so maybe I'll give the edge to them. But as far as Yarrow and Henry, Henry just very good, tremendous puck possession guy, very good skill, speed. For myself, it's just to get in spots so he can find me with the puck. But yeah, very good player. And then Yarrow played at almost the highest level you can play at, so just learning from him, being in good spots for him as well, and learning lots from him, and he's been very good to me, so it's been good.
He was given the captain's C last week. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you feel about Yarrow as a leader?
Very good. He's obviously his language is a little iffy sometimes, but he's been very good. He speaks up when he has to. He's very direct, which I like. Most guys probably like that. But it's just respect, right? He's 32 years old, so some guys, we have a young team, so guys look up to him, and he's as pro as you can get, so I think it was a very good choice.
So we already talked about your numbers from last year into this season now, but I think everybody wants to hear about your overtime winner. So take us through it, through your lens, start to finish. Take us through the play and the celebration afterwards, delivering the first win at Breaker Bay to the home fans. It had to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. So earlier on in the overtime, I had the puck and kind of turned it over, so that wasn't my plan, but it happens. And then a couple shifts later, with all that chaos of was it a goal, no goal, 2 times, we're kind of freaking out. The fans were loving it, and yes, I think a D-man was coming off, and I didn't really see anybody changing, so I just jumped on the ice. We had 3 forwards out there, and I was just dashing to the blue line, and Henry took some ice, took some space, found me just streaking in, gave me the puck, and I just tried to put a quick release past the goalie, and ended up working out for me. And celebration-wise, it was super loud, which was very cool, and just trying to enjoy it and take it all in.
Yeah, it was a pretty awesome goal. And yeah, you mentioned it earlier also. There were 2 goals that I think everybody in the arena thought went in for a moment. I was never so sure on the broadcast. I thought one was off the post. The Bondi one is the only one I really couldn't tell. Would have to take a much closer look at that. But then with all the chaos, like you said, to come down and find a home for it, have that whole crowd pop, like you said, had to be a pretty surreal feeling. But wrapping up here, Pies, what changes has Coach Pens made this season? What do you like about what he's building, about his practices? Why is it the edge that you guys have?
I think we're probably one of the fastest teams in the league, very conditioned. His practices are, they're fast paced. I like that. They're fast, they're hard. He's very direct as well. He wants us to do good, which is a good thing. He's been getting a lot of sponsorships over the summer, which has been good for the team. But he's done a tremendous work, and with Brett too, our trainer, Brett Riley's been getting us dialed in on workouts and making sure we're ready for the games and stuff. So, just we got to put it all together, and because he's the right guy to do it for the season.
I'm glad you mentioned Brett, because I think he's someone who doesn't get a lot of the glory. He's more behind the scenes. Yeah. He's the assistant coach, but he does a ton of work with the guys. I mean, you guys have scheduled workouts and plans, and he breaks down guy by guy. What is Brett's impact on this organization?
It's a lot. I mean, he's obviously, first of all, he's a good guy, good human. So, but he's got some funny stuff too. But yeah, he's been good with the workouts. He cares for you. Finds out your strengths and weaknesses. So he's put together like a workout plan for each of us, and works us hard, which is a good thing. So yeah, ready for our workout tomorrow. If it's sprints or some plyos, we're going to be ready for it.
Do you feel the impact of the workouts, like in real time? Has it hit you yet, or is it too soon to tell? Or do you notice little things in your game that have improved with his help?
I think so, yeah, for sure. Like the plyometrics, it's like jumping on boxes and stuff. And I think maybe I've gained a little more speed to my game, or not as much fatigued late in the game, which is, a big thing for me is don't be tired like late in the game. Once you master cardio, everything becomes easy. So, but he's been really good for that, and yeah, excited to keep it going with him.
All right, Lucas, last question for you. What's your message to the fans? 7 games gone down. You guys have won back-to-back. You've been a big part of that. 2 more games coming this weekend. You guys go on the road for a bit, but it seems like now is the time to, as you put it, buy in.
Yep. Yeah, time to buy in. To the fans, first of all, thank you. Try and pack the Coliseum as much as we can, and then it's our job to give you a fun and exciting game and win some games, and because you guys all deserve that. And like hockey should be here because it's a great place to play. I think it's probably the best place to play in the league when things are going right. So yeah, just thank you, and excited for the season to keep going, and hopefully we can make the playoffs.
You heard it from Lucas Piekarczyk, excuse me. I remember I had that going in the beginning.
Happens,
That's one of our inside jokes. I've always got it. My Polish ancestors would be very upset with me.
Oh.
But Lucas Piekarczyk, thanks so much for joining me on the show here tonight. Looking forward to seeing how you and the exception line break things in this weekend. But for now, I'll be back in a moment to wrap things up right here on Breaker Banter.
At Superior Optical Lab, we're proud to be certified as a service-disabled, veteran-owned small business and to provide quality eyewear to veterans to whom we all owe our freedom. Thank you for your service.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
A big thank you to Lucas Piekarczyk for joining me on episode 16 of Breaker Banter. Really cool to break down his journey. His success has been awesome in the early part of this season. We've now had all of the exception line, Yarrow, Henry, and Piekarczyk on the show now. But a great interview. It was great to hear his thoughts about how the season's going and talk about going from one era to now the next. Breakers are headed forward, and it's great to see that he's all on board and buying in. But as I mentioned, this weekend, 2 games, 7 o'clock against the Monroe Moccasins this upcoming Friday night. We will have that giveaway, so first 2,000 fans at the south entrance, you'll get a free 3-day pass to Club 4 Fitness, so get there early for that. Then it'll be Breakers and Mocs round 4, another physical game. Breakers are going to come back with a taste for revenge after losing the first 3. And then on Saturday night, the boys will head out to Columbus, Georgia, and have a game at 7 o'clock there. You can tune in on Breakers TV on YouTube, Sport Fee 106.3, Super Talk Mississippi, or head over to Walk-Ons and enjoy the game there. They had it on last weekend with no issues. It was an absolute blast. Of course, didn't get to attend, but heard it went really well from our assistant general manager, Nate Gosline. But that just about wraps us up. Looking forward to seeing everybody on Friday Friday night in the Coliseum. It's going to be a fun weekend if last weekend showed us anything. So, once again, a huge thank you to Lucas Piekarczyk for joining me, and I'll see you next time on Breaker Banter.